Step-by-step exam solutions. Okay, math class, training you to excel. Subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Share with friends. Click the notification button so that you receive the next presentation. Step-by-step exam solutions. Okay, math class, step to exam success. Step 1, plan. Step 2, pray. Step 3, prepare. Step 4, preview. Step 5, perform. Okay, math class, step-by-step exam solution to graphs of quadratic functions. In this series of presentation, we have been studying graphs of linear function, quadratic functions, trigonometric functions, inequalities. In this particular presentation, we are looking at graphs of quadratic functions, and our objectives are: number 1, obtain or complete a given table of values. 2, choose a reasonable uniform scale. 3, correctly plot the coordinate points. 4, answer questions based on the graphs correctly. Quadratic graph number 3. Copy and complete the table of values for the relation y is equal to 5 plus 2x minus 3x squared for values of s from minus 3 to plus 3. B. Using a scale of 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis and 2 cm to 5 units on the y-axis, draw the graph of the relation y is equal to 5 plus 2s minus 3x squared. C. On the same axis and using the same scales, draw the graph of y is equal to 1 minus 2x. D. Use the graph to find 1. The roots of the equation y is equal to 5 plus 2s minus 3x squared. 2. The equation of the line of symmetry. 3. Shade the region which satisfies the inequality 4 plus 4s minus 3x squared is greater or equal to 0. Now let's see how we can solve these questions together. Quadratic graph number 3. So we're going to complete this table of value for this function y is equal to 5 plus 2x minus 3x squared. So we're going to find the value of y when x is minus 3. If x is equal to minus 3, we're going to replace x here with minus 3. We're going to replace x here also with minus 3 squared. And then we're going to simplify. This will give us 5 minus 6, and this is 3 times 9. Then y is equal to 5 minus 6. 3 times 9 will give us minus 27. On further simplification, that will give us 5 minus 33, which will be equal to minus 28. So when x is minus 3, y is minus 28. We're going to do the same thing for when x is equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, then we're going to replace this with minus 2, and we're going to replace this minus 2 squared. On simplification, this will 5, and this will give us minus 4. This will give us 3 times 4. Then on simplification again, we're going to have 5 minus 4, and this will give us minus 12. And that will give me 5 minus 16, which will be equal to minus 11. So we're going to find the value of y when x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, we're going to replace s here with 1. Replace x here with 1 also to give us 1 squared. On simplification, we're going to have 5, we'll bring down 5. 2 times 1 is 2. And then this will give us minus 3. So that will give me 5 plus 2 minus 3. That will give me 7 minus 3. That will give me 4. So when s is equal to 1, y is equal to 4. Finally, when s is equal to 3, we're going to replace this with 3. And then replace this with 3 squared. And then we're going to simplify 5. This times this is plus 6. And then this squared is 9. And then again, we're going to simplify this. 5 plus 6, 9 times 3 is minus 27. Then we're going to have 11 minus 27. On further simplification, we're going to have minus 16. We have completed the table of value for the quadratic function. We're going to go to the next slide to find the table of value for the linear function. Now, for a straight line graph, we just need 3 points to plot the graph. And the graph we're plotting is y is equal to 1 minus 2x. So when x is equal to minus 3, we're going to replace x with minus 3 here. So that will give us minus 3. Y will be equal to 1 minus plus 6, because minus times minus will give us plus. Then y will be equal to 7. When x is equal to 0, so we're going to replace x here with 0, and that will give me 1. So x is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 3, we're going to replace s with 3, and that will give me 1 minus 6, and that finally will give me minus 5. We have now the table for the 3 points required to plot a straight line. We're going to move straight to the graph board to plot the graph. First, we draw the axis. This is y-axis, and this is x-axis, and this is the scale for the x-axis. Each 2 centimeters is equal to 1 unit. Then, between 0 and 1, you have 10 small squares. So, each small square is 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1. On the vertical axis, each 2 small squares is equal to 5 units. So this is 0, this is 2 centimeter, 5. On the negative axis, each 2 centimeter minus 5, which is 5 units, another minus 5, then getting to this point. Looking at this, each 2 small square will give us 1 unit on the y-axis. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and then this is 5. Then we're now going to import the table, and then we'll start the plotting. When x is minus 3, y is minus 28. X is minus 3 here, so we move down. Y is minus 30 here. This is minus 29. This should be minus 28. When x is minus 2, y is minus 11. X is minus 2 here. Minus 10 is here. Then 2 small square again will give us minus 1. Now it's minus 11. When x is minus 1, y is 0. Minus 1, y is 0 here. When x is 0, y is 5 at this point here. When x is 1, y is 4. 1 unit below 5. That's the point here. And when x is 2, y is minus 3. 2 here. And this is minus 3 at this point. And then when x is equal to 3, y is minus 16. This is 3. Then this is minus 15. 2 small square, 1 minus 1 give us minus 16. Then we have the points plotted. So we're going to join these points with a smooth curve. The blue line represents the quadratic function, the quadratic curve we are looking for. Then the next we're going to plot the graph for the linear function. And we need just these 3 points to plot the linear function. So when x is minus 3, y is 7. X is minus 3 here. So y is 5 here, 6 here, and then 7 at this point. When x is 0, y is 1. X is 0 here. X is 0 at this point. Y is 1 at this point. So we are going to have that. And then when x is 3, y is minus 5. X is 3 here. Y is minus 5 at this point. So now we are going to join these 3 points with a straight line. The green line represents the straight line. And the straight line is y is equal to 1 minus 2x. Now, having done the plotting of the graphs and getting the curve and the straight line, we are going to answer the questions. Question D. Use the graph to find the roots of the equation y is equal to 5 plus 2x minus 3x squared. Looking at that, the first point where the blue quadratic curve crosses the x-axis is at minus 1. So that means the first answer we're looking for, the first root is minus 1. So that is minus 1 at that point. And the next point where it crosses at this point, looking at that, this is 1.5, this is 1.6. So that point is 1.6. So we have the 2 roots, minus 1 and 1.6. So the roots are minus 1 and 1.6. Now we are going to answer the next question. to find the equation of the line of symmetry. The line of symmetry is the line that divides these two curves into two equal halves, so that the left side is exactly the same as the right side, and that point will be at the maximum point of the graph. So we're going to draw a horizontal line at the maximum point. Now that horizontal line touches the graph at this point. So now therefore, we look at the value of x at that point. So we drop a vertical line from here to the x-axis. That will give us a 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So the equation of line of symmetry is x is equal to 0.3. Or x minus 0.3 is equal to 0. So any of these will go for the answer. Then we're going to go straight to the third question. The third question there says we should shade the region which satisfies the inequality 4 plus 4x minus 3x squared is greater or equal to 0. Now this equation must relate to these two equations here, the straight line equation and the quadratic function here. So therefore, we are going to see that this is the region where the quadratic curve is above the line. And that means 5 plus 2x minus 3x squared should be greater or equal to 1 minus 2x. Taking minus 1 the other side, taking plus 1 the other side becomes minus. 5 minus 1 will give us 4. Taking minus 2x the other side becomes plus. Plus 2s plus 2s will give us 4x, and then minus 3x squared is greater or equal to 0. So that's the equation we are finding the region. So that shows that the region is this area where the blue curve is above the green line. So we're going to shade that region. So that's the required region that satisfies this inequality. So that is the answer to the question. That brings us to the end of this presentation. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe.